still admitting people in. Yes, good afternoon, everyone.
One girl in Abuja, and I was like, that. I was telling her that this is
Good afternoon, everyone. I mean, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, everyone. Are we there? Remember, this is a celebration and it's so there'll be rice and stew very plenty at the end of the program for those that participate. Don't worry, Glovo, you see Glovo bringing your own Chicken Republic or the place rice or Ojuelegba rice, depending on your geographical location. So once again, good afternoon. You can either put up an emoji or mute yourself and greet. So once again, good afternoon. So let's see the emojis coming up. So if you're here, you can say good afternoon. You can put up your comments. Okay, you can say Gono. I can see Hamid. Innocent. Okay, who else do we have? Good afternoon. So today is the last day of June, and I trust God that June has been very beautiful for everyone gathered here. Today we have a very important celebration, a very wonderful thing to celebrate today, the 30th of June. And anyone that is not a team member can just tell me what it is that we are celebrating today. Anyone that is not a team member? Anyone that is not a team member? There are gifts for anyone that participates and answers questions today. So anyone that is not a team member can tell me what REJA is celebrating today. You can just unmute and say something. If nobody speaks in the next 10 seconds, my gift would be, I'll put my gifts back in my pocket.
Good
Okay,
afternoon.
Good afternoon. You can say your name and what it is.
My name is David from MSCC Kefini.
Okay.
Welfare Office.
Welcome, Mr. David. It's a pleasure to have you here. So what is REJA celebrating today?
In their 50th year anniversary.
Wow, that's beautiful. Please, can we put our hands together for Mr. David? Mr. David has been a wonderful partner with us for the past 3 or 4 years in our impact work. Mr. David, don't worry, you hear from us. Please, Hamid, are you noting Mr. David? So there'll be a wonderful gift that will be coming to Mr. David. So welcome. We are welcoming everybody to this auspicious event. This is going to be a 1-hour event. So without much ado, we'll get straight to it. So we are welcoming you all. Thank you for joining. All team members present, we thank you. All volunteers, all partners, we all thank you for joining. We appreciate you all. And then without much ado, we'll move straight to the next item on our agenda, which is a welcome address by our executive director. Now, before I pass the virtual mic to her, please, while she's coming in, I want to see our virtual round of applause coming up. Remember, the person that claps the best, Glover will bring in a nice plate of party jollof. Hamid, calm down, I've not said anything. There'll be a nice plate of party jollof Glover will be bringing to your house if you clap the highest today. Some 5 years ago, I remember when I and the ED sat down, we were having the conversation about starting this organization, and it looked very improbable and very difficult at that time. We didn't know where to start. We didn't know where the funding was going to come from. I think there were just about 3 members or thereabouts when we were having this. That should be somewhere in 2019 or thereabout. Yes, sometimes, as this guy used to say, Tunde is it Onakoyada, the chess guy, he would say that you can do great things from small places. And I think that has been the case, and that's a testimony for REJA. So with that in mind, and with the one you clapped before was wasted, now is the time we'll start. Now with your virtual round of applause, let us welcome the Executive Director of Restorative Justice for Africa Initiative, Mrs. Osarieme Grace Shobanke, for her opening and welcome address in 3 minutes. Over to you, Executive Director.
Please confirm that you can hear me, Chibuze.
Yes, we can hear you, man.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. I don't know where to start. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm thinking to start from where Chibuze left off as to when we had the conversation in 2019, and rightly so began impact work in 2020. God has been so faithful to us. It's been a long way coming. I'm so excited. I'm filled with so much joy and gratitude to welcome everyone who has joined the virtual celebration. Today is our 5th anniversary, and we are so excited. One of the reasons it means a lot to me is because between 1 and 5 years of starting organizations, especially non-profit organizations, impact-driven organizations, there's always what we call the valley of death, right? And many organizations don't survive to their 5th year. It's not always easy to sustain an organization in its beginning phase. So we have many organizations who go through that valley of death and don't survive. So it means so much. It means everything to us that we have made it to these 5 years. When we launched in 2020, back to the story, it was in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic when we started outright work, like visiting correctional facilities and all. It was in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, and many of our communities were facing injustice, facing justice crisis. Many of their justice needs were not met. They went unresolved, right? And many people were unjustly incarcerated prior to that time, and then, of course, within that period. And many of them who we have interviewed, who we have met with from the background of my work, many of them were there not because they were guilty, but many of them were there because of their economic situation. They were poor, they could not afford legal representations. I assume that many people on this call are lawyers, so you can already know how expensive it is to hire or get the service of a lawyer. So many people who could not even survive on, or who were surviving on less than 1,000 naira a day, could not even afford legal representation, right? And so because we saw that need, that many indigent, in quote, people were going unheard, were going unrepresented, we were spurred and inspired to start something, a movement to meet those needs. Right? We had a very simple but very urgent conviction, and our conviction was that justice should not be denied. Access to justice, as it were, should not be denied to people simply because of their economic situation, simply because they could not afford legal representation. Right. And then also we had this dream that incarceration should not be a dead end, right? People who are returning from, who were formerly incarcerated, who were unjustly incarcerated, should be able to reintegrate seamlessly into their communities. And so because of that deep sense of urgency, we started REJA, and I dare say that it has grown into this very beautiful movement that you have all joined to celebrate today. A little bit of numbers. In the last 5 years, we've been able to work hand in hand, work alongside with about 14,000 justice impacted people, right? It has been a ripple effect. So their communities, their families, stakeholders too, who we have been able to train, raise awareness on about restorative justice and all. And then we've provided direct legal support to about 900 persons, right? We've also championed restorative justice as an alternative to punishment. I know, or we may all be aware that we're in Nigeria, where the criminal justice system is highly retributive. And what that means is there's a huge reliance on incarceration, right, as the best means of punishment. So trying to infuse restorative justice, trying to advocate for a people-centered justice was no easy task at all, right? But we've been able to see how to represent that idea on platforms that matter. We've been able to establish restorative justice clinics in very few correctional centers, but we're happy about the feedback we are getting from those clinics, because it's giving us a sense of hope that restorative justice can actually be a complement and an alternative in certain cases to incarceration and punishment. And then more importantly, because we realized that the legal interventions we were providing were not enough to restore the people that we serve, we had to take another bold step to provide or to support them with reintegration. Because we saw that very big gap. And in the coming days, we are going to be launching our first community-rooted reintegration shelter for unjustly incarcerated individuals. It's going to be located in Nasarawa State, but our intention is for it to serve neighboring communities, so you can snap your fingers, and then we'll provide updates as to how that launch, because it's going to be happening in the course of this week, and it is called the Restored Voices Shelter, right? These are a few things. I'm calling it few because I just don't want to I don't want to exceed the 3 minutes time. These are the few things we've been able to do and that we are so proud of, right? So today's celebration is not just a look at those numbers. It's not just about milestones or targets, right, that were met. It's about the lives and the people, the names behind these numbers, the people who would have probably been behind bars till date, who would have still be suffering unjust incarceration, right? It's it's those numbers, is the faces and the people behind those numbers that we have gathered here to celebrate. It's about the people who were initially silenced, right? Who felt that their voices would never matter, would never amount to anything. But now they have a voice, courtesy of our interventions in REJA. And then it's also about repair through restorative justice as against over-incarceration of petty offenses, minor offenses that could have been resolved using non-custodial measures, right? But that were met with incarceration. Is about celebrating those people who have benefited from that. And then it's also about dignity, right? It's not just about the support handouts to people. These are human beings, and it's about making them feel dignified, making them understand the sense of their humanity, and that how that, you know, is the overall and the most important thing in the work that we do. And it's also about rewriting the stories of injustice. We met so many people who were, you know, wallowing in injustice, who were sharing harrowing stories. We have been able to rewrite some of those stories. You may hear from some of them. We just had to pick about 2 or 3 because of our time, to see how you can hear how our work has influenced or touched 1 or 2 people. And the partners who have supported us, maybe 1 or 2, you would be hearing from the recordings, allies, and what have you. So it's those people, those stories that we have rewritten, that we are here to celebrate today. So especially, I want to thank you for being a part of this journey. I want to thank all our board members. I'm sure in the vote of thanks, I would appreciate you more robustly. Our board members, our team members, our staff, our volunteers, everyone who has supported our cause, who has given resources, who has, you know, given time, who has supported one advocacy project or another. We want you to know that you helped us get here. We didn't get here by just our own will or our own passion. We got here because a lot of people held us, and we stood on those shoulders to get there. And as we look to the next 5 years, I'm also saying confidently that we will be doubling down on our impact, on our mission. We're not going to rest. We're not taking any break. This is just like a springboard for us to launch into the next 5 years. And we know, I believe that with your continued support, Chibueze rightly mentioned Mr. David, with very critical support from the Correctional Service and stakeholders, partners, funders, board, volunteers, staff, we know that we'll be able to scale our justice solutions, we'll be able to reach more people, and we'll be able to rewrite more stories of injustice. I believe that it will be a more grand celebration during our 10 years anniversary, and I want to thank you very much. So I would yield the mic back to Chibueze. Thank you so much.
Thank you, our most wonderful and egalitarian ED. Please, can we give the virtual round of applause for her? Please, let's put our hands together for her. I'm not seeing those hands. Remember, there is an Ojo Eleba party jollof for the person that claps the most in this program. Thank you, ED, for that wonderful opening remarks. It's beautiful when you see the stories that are being changed by such a simple initiative. When we started, people that would have been behind bars, people that would have been destitute, and how much this project and this work, of course, with the support of our partners and funders, has helped in changing their story and rewriting their story. And we want to proceed quickly to hearing a contribution from one of our board members who has been supportive, still supportive from the get-go. And with that, I think someone said that if you want to, if you want to do something quick, you do it alone. But if you want to go far, you do it with people. There's a quotation like that. Yes, she has been with us from the beginning. She has been very supportive. She has helped with advice, with facilities, and in every way whatsoever. And we don't know how much to thank her. But we want to hear from her in the next 5 minutes. And ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not too busy, put your hands together as we welcome Mr. Mokiniovo Dafe Abedeye, one of our board members, I think the secretary to the Board of Restorative Justice for Africa Initiative. Mr. Mokiniovo, I yield the mic over to you for the next 5 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, MC Chibueze. Good afternoon, attendees.
Good afternoon.
My name, as you've all heard, is Imo Kinyewu-Dafe-Akpede, and I'm the Secretary of the Board of Trustees of REJA, which is the Restorative Justice for Africa Initiative, known as REJA or REJA Initiative. It's indeed my honor and pleasure to welcome you all, our partners, donors, team members, stakeholders, friends, and well-wishers to our 5th year anniversary celebrations. Now, as a bit of background, REJA Initiative commenced its activities in 2020, and it has been a journey of successes and lessons learned for future impact to the communities we served. Now, our vision is a fair and accountable Africa where everyone has equal access to justice, regardless of their economic situation. And this continues to be our focus and the drive to ensure that everyone, and I mean it's everyone, has access to justice. Now, also our mission is to close the justice and inequality gap for people behind bars through restorative justice, tech-enabled legal support, and reintegration programs. You've heard our vision and mission, and in keeping with those, from REJA's inception during the global 2019 pandemic till date, our ED told us REJA has supported over 900 indigenous inmates and has impacted over 14,000 people across 7 states in Nigeria. And I think that really deserves a round of applause. So I think we should all give REJA and ourselves a round of applause for that impact. Now, REJA has achieved this great feat by promoting restorative justice in what is normally a retributive criminal justice system, and also promoting reintegration pathways for formerly incarcerated people. Looking to the future, in the next 5 years, REJA's plan is to increase its capacity to provide legal representation for indigent people, increase the adoption of restorative justice programs as an alternative to incarceration, reduce the police to prison pipeline so that Maduka will not continue being in prisons every day looking for people, and ensuring fewer people are wrongly incarcerated, which is a big problem in our society. We also intend to improve reintegration of formerly incarcerated people. You heard from our ED talking about our new Nasarawa Center, which is going to be launched this week. If you can be there, please join us. And then also we want to integrate technology for better case management in the administration of criminal justice. So these are really lofty plans, and we know that, you know, with effort and God on our side, we will be able to achieve all this for the good of our society. Of course, we could not have achieved the successes recorded in the last 5 years without our awesome volunteers and partners. I would like all of us to give a massive virtual round of applause to the people who have toiled day and night to ensure that REJA has made an impact to society. Please let us clap for ourselves. I can see so many of us on the platform, and I just want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We are so, so grateful, and we look forward to the next 5 years for impact across Africa. We talked about 7 states across Nigeria. We are moving on to the next level to 36 states across Nigeria, and of course the FCT. And even outside Nigeria, this problem is not a Nigerian problem, it's an Africa problem. In fact, it's a global problem, because I read an article recently of someone in Jamaica who had been incarcerated without trial for over 40 years. So this is a global problem, and we have to treat it, you know, and tackle it head on. And I'm sure that with you guys on our side, we're going to do a fantastic job. Now, finally, I just want to thank and appreciate everyone for joining in today's virtual celebrations. We are nothing without the people who assist us, without the people that come out, without the lawyers, the volunteers, the partners, you know, financial, spiritual, those boots on the ground who come out every time we ask them to help us achieve our objectives. And I believe we all look forward to fruitful deliberations during this annual celebration. so that we can achieve our lofty goals in the next 5 years. Thank you all very much, and I look forward to a decade of REJA's impact. I'll hand over now to Chibueze Maduka to continue the celebrations.
Thank you very much. Please, I don't see our hands. Our hands are not popping up. We should be clapping. We should be clapping because to hear that this is actual. The problem REJA is solving is a global problem. From time to time, we hear stories of somebody has been arrested. This is how the story goes. This is how the story normally goes. From what I've heard for the past 1 year, the person was arrested. They spent like 2 weeks in police. The police station might be Abattoir or anywhere. From
Chibueze, are you on the call?
this
It's
change
as
now.
if network is glitching up. Okay, okay. Think you're back now.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes, you're back.
Okay, thank you. That was a brief network glitch. So I was talking of the stories and what we hear and how it goes. And would I call it the vicious circle that some unfortunate people go through in the society. And that's one of the things REJA tries to solve. Now that we're trying to introduce technology, have more partnership with welfare officers across correctional centers, so that whenever cases like this comes up, somebody, a volunteer in REJA will be reached out to, and we'll see how we can solve the problem. And as like our board member said, so that some of our volunteers will not be in prison every day trying to find out if anyone has lawyer or doesn't have lawyer, has somebody been here for 3 years without trial, and cases like that. So thank you once again, Bokinyevo, for that, for your support in the past 5 years. We will not have been where we are today without you and other members on the board. Of course, they always say that a picture would speak more than words can say. If we mention the numbers yet, it might not really make sense. You might think, are they fabricating these numbers from the sky, or are they using AI to do it? Please, the pictures and the video we want to show you are not AI generated. I've been seeing wonderful AI generated pictures and videos in the past few weeks. Some people have been using Bible stories to do AI. They'll talk about the story of Noah. I'm like, where do people get this kind of ideas? Trust me, this is not AI generated. This is not deep fake. And for everything we are showing here, we have the full consent of everybody that their face shows or that their story is told here. So for the next 2 minutes or 3, we'll show a video of our impact, our beneficiaries, and some of the people who've helped. There are quite a lot, so we'll just pick a few to show you what REJA has been doing for the past 5 years. Over to you, Hamid, for the video.
On the 1st of February, I was taken to Ibarra Correctional Center and I was given a bail condition. There was no how to get through to my family, there was no how to get through to anybody, my children, no how to get through to anybody. And God so good that day, I met a lawyer who came from REJA. I was being able to talk to them. They came into my matter, they helped me in with my bill, with everything. They also helped me with transport fare back home. I want to say a very big thank you to REJA. I want to say a very big thank you to the lawyer. I want to say God will continue to uphold and strengthen you. God will continue to make you large. You will be known home and abroad for this good work, and God will pay you back. Thank you very much.
So they arrest me in 2020, December last. Once the police come arrest me, see me as the motor. I tell them, say no, na person give me the motor before I sell her. See the person will give me motor, I direct police go there, they go arrest 3 of them. They keep them for a women police station, Dikina. So reach 4 days, 5 days, they come back them. They carry my workers, go federal high court, Metama. I think they get into 3 years, 1 year, I no go court. Thank God. Correctional center, 5 arrest for me. Now I'm out to nobody go grace.
I was arrested November month and 3 weeks in prison before they granted me bail in court. When I came out, I called REJA Initiate, so they assist me with transport and some money for me to take start business.
Sometimes in the year 2015, I was taken to Lafia Kefi custodian centers for a case I knew nothing about. I stayed there for over 8 years with no case file, no court appearance, no lawyer, no barrister, no nothing at all. I was just like forgotten, left for dead in between the devil and the deep blue sea, had no one to care for. I was only entitled to my junk food that I was given in there. But as God will have it, sometime last year, I met with REJA, Restorative Justice for Africa Initiative at Kefi Prison, custodian center, sorry. And then ever since then, they've been of immense and great help to me. They tried and saw that they did their best for me to be out. And getting out, it wasn't really easy. After spending 8 years there, I came back shattered and battered with no home, no family, no one to look up to, no one to call a friend or even a loved one. But they took me in as all of these things that I called. They became my family, my friends, my loved ones. And they did all that family and friends were supposed to do for anyone that has been through such a trauma.
I was arrested earlier this year. So after coming out from at correctional center in Cleveland, and this organization, they gave me an apartment to stay, and I really thank God for my life. Ever since I've been in this place, my life has changed for my life, and I'm so happy. They do everything for me. Everything they have been doing for me, I'm so happy. Like, they make me happy. They make me to forget my past. Also, I'm happy forever.
Hamid, is that the end of the video?
Yes, sir, that is the end of the video.
Okay, thank you very much. Sometimes these are just few of the things. For time's sake, we can't put up everything. These are some of them. Sometimes when you hear stories like this, it creates it sobers up the environment and sobers up the moment. So imagine when you take 8 years out of somebody's life, you have almost taken the person backward. I don't know how to put it. And this is the story that we hear. We have a lot of stories like that we've intervened and we've helped and we've assisted over the period of 5 years. There are a lot of people like that. And even as we speak and we celebrate 5 years, there are a lot of people like that still in correctional centers, still in police detention, EFCC detention, DSS detention. So many of them are like that. People that their rights that are provided for in Chapter 4 of the Constitution are being violated on a day-to-day basis. And it's for causes like this that our organization and some other organizations in the same thematic area exists. Like I said, these are some of the few persons that we've helped, we've assisted, and we are still helping. I know some of our volunteers are in court today doing some matters, some judgments we've gotten against the police. Some of our volunteers are seeing how we can enforce them. So the work still continues, no matter how much we've done, there's still so much work to be done. As our Lord Jesus said, he said that the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Yes, the laborers are few, and we once again use opportunity to enjoy anyone that wants to volunteer to support the work we do in whatever way you can, either through supporting with your time, your knowledge, your resources, anything, everything is welcome. Nothing is too small. Thank you once again, and thank you for enjoying that video. Hamid, thank you for putting that up together for us. We appreciate you very much. Quickly, we have some of our partners and funders here. I think I've seen some Ms. Fumi from CELSA, and I've seen Heartfelt Foundation here. So this is the time to give an opportunity for our partners to say something about the organization and how we've worked with them for the past 5 years. And without much ado and in no particular order, we'll start with Fumi from Celsa for the next 2 minutes. Is she here?
Just to step in a little, Chibuzi.
Okay.
Joke is the executive director of CELSA, and thank you so much for joining as well. So I don't know who would be speaking on behalf of CELSA, but I just wanted to acknowledge Joke.
Okay, thank you. For the next 2 minutes. So let's put our hands together while the virtual mic is yielded. Please, let's be putting our hands together. Remember, there's Ojo Eleba Rice coming. Let's clap, let's clap. Over to you, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chibueze. My name is Joke Aladesomi. I'm sorry my video is off. Please just permit me to have it off. My name is Joke Aladesomi from the Center for Legal Support and Inmate Rehabilitation. And I'm really so excited to be here. And I want to say a big congratulations to REJA, to Sareme, and to every member of the team. It's so exciting to see the amazing things that REJA has done, especially the changes they've always and constantly advocated for in terms of restorative justice and how this can be an acceptable practice, across the country. I've worked with REJA on different levels. Is it talking about ideas, ways to change the system, talking about how to increase the criminal justice reform in different states, Ogun State. Like I remember her telling me, okay, we need to do this. There's so much that needs to be done in Ogun State, and I think there's a lot we can do together. And one of the things I really want to commend Osareme and REJA for is actually their openness to partnership, their openness to work together with others, their openness to see that collaboration have its way in terms of the change and that we're expecting in the criminal justice system. And I can tell you, when that is done, especially as a leader, when you have that at the center of your mind, especially as a leader, the change we're expecting to see is just around us. In no time, we would see the criminal justice system, the criminal justice sector itself being transformed into what we want it to be. And congratulations so much on the halfway house that the team is working on. I had a conversation with Osareme last week, and it's so exciting to see that such intervention is taking root, and we are beginning to get into that of knowing that the help that incarcerated persons need actually goes beyond the prison, but also providing social reintegrations for them not to find their ways back to the correctional facility. It's been a really, 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 it's been a lot that REJA has done, listening to the beneficiaries. I work in this space and I understand it. I know what it takes. I can tell you for a fact that I know what it takes. And so when I see any of my colleagues or that also work in this space, I really have to say kudos to them. And on behalf of myself and on behalf of Center for Legal Support, and inmate rehabilitation, we want to say congratulations to REJA, congratulations to REJA, congratulations to Sareme, congratulations to every member of the team, and especially to the volunteers. Thank you so much, because having to show up for this kind of work when it's not a full-time employment is a lot, because we know the lot that goes into it, and that's why I can't be here taking that for granted. And I really want to say thank you, Osareme. I wish you all the best. I wish you growth. I wish you increase, and I love the global perspective of the work. I love that we're beginning to think out of Nigeria and far into other countries around Africa and around the world. The world is really waiting to see the solutions we've been able to come up with and how it's transforming Africa and transforming a lot of justice impacted persons. I pray that our strength is constantly being renewed to do this work, and I pray that you celebrate many, many more years, 10 years, 15 years, 30 years, 100 years, because even when we are far gone, God would have entrusted us with people that would be able to carry on and keep pushing through till we see the change that we all desire. Congratulations once again, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, man. To all the prayers, we'll all say a very big amen, or Yorubas will say Ami, or Ibinese will say Ise. Thank you very much, man. That was very wonderful. Thank you for the support. And quickly, we'll move over to head representative from Heartfelt Foundation. We the virtual mic over to you. Thank you. Okay, I think I saw Fumi from Headford. I don't know if she's still with us. Fumi, are you still with us? Okay, that's okay. So no, that's Fumi Sales. Okay. I know I saw someone from Headford Foundation. Okay. Maybe network or something have. Okay, Hamid, can you give us a video for our partners pending when person comes back online?
Happy birthday, Reja. So this is actually apple juice because I didn't have champagne in my fridge. But nevertheless, I'm sending you these warm greetings from Brussels, Belgium. And as you celebrate this important milestone, I wanted to share how deeply inspired I am by your work. You know, I founded an organization doing similar work in the DRC, and seeing how REJA has evolved over the years reminds me that what we do is possible. It is not easy, but it is possible when you have this vision to build a better justice system, the courage to stand firm in the face of injustice, and the determination to do whatever it takes to serve people with dignity. And you know, the challenges you face in Nigeria deeply resonate with what we live every day in the DRC. Broken system, deep injustice, corruptions, and you know, all of that just stress how important it is and how urgent it is to have bold and committed actors just like you. And as a young African woman, I can only share your desire for accessible and people-centered justice in Nigeria, because I believe that our people, our citizens across the continent deserve more. They deserve a justice that heals and not only punishes, and a justice that protects and liberates and not oppresses. So your journey gives us hope and the strength to keep going. So congratulations again, and here is to many more years of impact.
Hello, my name is Daniel Stein-Sales. I work at the Elevate Prize Foundation and formerly at Echoing Green. I've had the opportunity to learn about and support the work at Restorative Justice for Africa, first through the Echoing Green Fellowship, and most recently through the Elevate Prize Get Loud Award. It's been wonderful seeing the growth, the impact that you all have been able to make over the past few years. And I just want to share a huge congratulations to Grace and the entire team on the important work that you all have been doing and the people you've been fighting for. And I cannot wait to see what the next 5 years brings. Congratulations.
Wow, that was very beautiful. Please let's put our hands together once again for those wonderful words of affirmation and commendation from our partners. As you can see, the work that REJA is doing has left Benin City and is flying everywhere around the globe. Possibly by the time Elon Musk gets somewhere in Mars, REJA will also be in Mars, giving restorative justice services to any alien that will find there. Until then, our work has gone global and it's everywhere. And we are trying as much as we can to bring a justice system that heals and not only punishes people, especially when this justice system punishes the marginalized people and people cannot speak for themselves. But of course, every time in society, we see people that commit hefty crimes, serious crimes, and then they are given a slap on the wrist. Then when somebody steals chicken or steals tomato, not saying people should steal, but there again, we should have a justice system that heals them, that repairs them, that tries to get them in the right track and not penalizing them or punishing them to a point where they don't see any hope or future in life anymore. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining us. It's been wonderful. And quickly, everyone has been speaking about the next 5 years. We've been talking about the next 5 years. We are thanking God for the last 5 years, but we'll not rest on our oars. We will not be lost in the things we've achieved. We are looking into the future. There are many more things to be done. There are many more territories to conquer. So we'll not just be on the other side of the Jordan. We want to cross the Jordan to take the promised land. And we have someone that's going to go to Mount Pisgah and give us a vision of what that promised land would be. And please, as I'm mentioning her name, I want our hands and our virtual hands to be coming up. I think Innocent has been winning the award for today. Innocent, don't worry, there's Ojo Elebara rice for you. Please, I want someone to take that gift from Innocent. So there's just one plate of Ojo Elebara rice, and Glovo will be sending it to somebody. So we need someone. We are going to call up this person that will speak to us on the future of REJA, where we are going to in the next 5 years. What are the things we hope to do, the things we hope to achieve when we gather together like this to celebrate 10 years. And to go on that session, we'll be welcoming our head of operations, Mrs. Egwono Olorunfemi. Let's put our hands together as we hand over the virtual mic to Mrs. Egwono.
All right. Thank you so much, Chibueze. Please confirm that you can hear me.
Of course, we can hear you. Thank you very much, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you so much to everyone who has joined, who has taken time out of their busy schedules to participate in this event, to celebrate with us as we look back on what we have done, the work we have done, and where we want to go to in the next 5 years. Some days ago, and it's very interesting that Chibueze also talked about. Okay, yes. So as I was saying, I find it very interesting that Chibueze also talked about this quote when he started. And it's a quote I heard some days ago from Tunde Onakoya, but he's not the one, he's not the original author of the quotes. It's great things start from small places, or great things start from a small place. And thinking on that quote and seeing his journey in chasing slums and what he has been able to do with that community also reminded me of the journey of REJA and how much change, how much work has been put into this organization by ED, our executive director, Osareme, who interestingly is my good friend and classmates in the university. So what started as someone's intense dissatisfaction or disillusion with the deep-seated flaws in the Nigerian criminal justice system has led to the establishment of an organization that is actively focused on closing the justice gaps and also creating opportunities for formerly incarcerated persons to be reintegrated back into society successfully. And a number of persons have also talked about this. Our Board of Trustees member, Ms. Imokinovo, Mrs. Joke of CELSA, and I believe that everyone on this call will agree that with the way the current criminal justice system is set up, every Nigerian is one false allegation or accusation away from being unjustly incarcerated with their human rights stripped away. While this happens all the time to people that are poor or have lower socio-economic power, the truth is it can happen to anyone. It just depends on the dynamics of power in the case. So we have seen a lot of cases of legislators and different people who abuse the power that they have and use it to threaten others. And the very common Nigerian phrase is, "Do you know who I am?" That shows the way the criminal justice system is currently in Nigeria. And I dare argue in Africa and all over the world, just very prevalent in our society. And for me, a case in point was, the very sad case of Mr. David Nwokore. I'm sure maybe we saw this on social media, who was arrested and thrown behind bars simply because he broke up with the daughter of a high-ranking policeman, and he was forgotten behind bars till some organizations got wind of what was happening and then took up the matter. But the important question now, having heard all this and the stories we have presented, the problem as it were, the question is, how can you prevent this from happening to you or someone you know in the long run? I'm sure if we look at our families or, in our circle, we can point to a story of someone who was incarcerated but didn't have access to a lawyer or didn't know what to do and, was just forgotten, right? So there is something we can do. In the next 5 years, we want to just scale up what we are already doing, our access to justice program, ensuring that everybody has access to justice. Everybody can access a lawyer, irrespective of where they live, irrespective of whether they can speak English or not. They can access a lawyer when they need it. And the mere fact of just accessing a lawyer is already it puts a lot of things in their favor. It ensures that their cases are heard timelessly because somebody can advocate for them. It ensures that their case file is not forgotten somewhere, like a case we had recently where someone was incarcerated and his case file was nowhere to be found. So part of the work we did was trying to find this case file, and then we discovered that the bailiff that was supposed to send it did not send it. And so the case file was missing. It was in another court. And once we got it, we discovered that the legal advice of the director of public prosecutions was that this person should be discharged because he didn't have a case to answer. Only when you have a lawyer representing you can that happen. If not, he would just probably still be in correctional facilities as we speak. So you can support us by helping us to scale up this work. We are currently in about 7 states, currently have our presence in 7 states, some more than others, but we want to scale this work to all the states in Nigeria and then move on to other African countries. We also want to focus on our integration efforts. We are planning to officially open our halfway home, our reintegration program in Nasarawa State that will serve that geopolitical zone. And then we want to continue our advocacy for restorative justice. I'm sure we have heard, something around restorative justice in the course of this event, which is another alternative, a complement to the justice system we have that serves people, that is not just about punish the person, let the person, stay in prison, but looks at this situation holistically and say, what can we do for everyone involved? A very good story, I heard from the Chief Judge of Edo State when we were in a conference on restorative justice or a workshop, was that there was an old woman whose goat was stolen, and the person who stole the goat was tried and sentenced. And the old woman had a question after all this. She said, "Where is my goats?" So at the end of that whole process, she still did not have her goats. And that was what was most important to her. So we want to scale our work in restorative justice. So how can you get involved? That's a very important question. You can get involved if you're a lawyer on this call. You can get involved by volunteering your time with us as a lawyer in providing pro bono legal services for indigent persons who cannot afford it. It's, we were, taught this in law school and in course of practice about, the role we have as lawyers and how we can help others with the knowledge that we have. But it's not just for lawyers. As, even if you are not a lawyer, you can volunteer with us in helping us amplify our work. So there are a lot of things we are doing, even when it comes to speaking out against particular cases of injustice or where the human rights of persons have been violated. We need that mass energy, for lack of a better word. We need everyone to amplify it, to make it viral, and to help us constantly put these issues on the front burner so that the government is aware, and we can use that as an inroad to communicate or to dialogue with the government. So that's another way you can help us. We have a number of initiatives we are doing, even when it comes to reforming existing laws, whether either repealing it or amending it. We do some work in that regard, so you can help us. A low-hanging fruit is you can follow us on our social media and help us champion our initiatives for reforming the criminal justice system in Africa. Very, very importantly, because we cannot do all this without funds, you can donate to our cause. We rely on the generous donations of people who believe in the work we do, can partner with us in ensuring our mission stays alive. And in the end, you can be the answer to someone's prayer. So finally, I'll say this, I'll say, do not stand on the sidelines, do not be aloof, do not say it does not concern me, because it does. Join us in the fight to ensure that we have a criminal justice system that is not only fair, it is also accountable and accessible to everyone, regardless of their economic situation. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you would join us in this mission and help us to carry out our initiatives. Thank you very much. Over to you, Chibueze.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Please, a hand of applause. Innocent, I'm not seeing your hand anymore. Hamid, thank you. I don't know which of the states my Ojuelegba rice would go. Will it be in Abuja or Lagos or Abeokuta or Kanu or Nasarawa? But Glovo, of course, they say they have whatever you need. They say you have the city on your palm. So my Ojuelegba rice will certainly be going somewhere at the end of this program. But lest I forget, remember that on Thursday, there won't be need to send the Ojuelegba rice through Glovo. Ojuelegba rice will be somewhere in Nasarawa State where we'll be launching our reintegration home. And there's something beautiful Egwono said, our head of operations. She said that everybody here is one false allegation, accusation away from incarceration. And it is scary. I remember a case we handled some people that they were detained for 2.5 years. And what was the problem? A lady accused them of rape. They were accused, and the lady was like, yeah, eventually the lady said, well, that it was her boyfriend that said she should accuse them so they can extort money from them. And of course, when this thing gets to once your matter enters some police stations, what they are concerned about is not investigation, is not to find out the truth of the matter, it's not restorative justice, it's on how to extort as much as they can from both parties. And if you're not paying enough, that's why you hear some cases that they arrested 3 of them, 2 of them paid money and left. It's the one that couldn't pay money that will now be brought to court. So everybody is one false allegation away from getting their fundamental human rights stripped of them in the unjust system that we practice. And that's why the work we do is very important. Imagine the case of the guy that something has been issued that he should not be taken to court, and then the file just got missing. And that's why we need lawyers. Or imagine the person that was arrested because he broke up with a girlfriend. And imagine you now, people that have been dishing people breakfast, and then they start carrying you around in courts and in prisons for things that are not a crime. It's funny, but it's very painful. One of the things we also try to do is that in addition to for people to get access to lawyers, we also want people to get access to sureties. Because also in the course of our work, people are granted bail, but they don't have access to sureties or people that can stand in to take them up on bail. And this is also another thing that we are trying to solve the problem for. So our head of operations, thank you very much for showing us the way forward. Please, if you are here, you've not joined as a partner, or there's any way you think you can be of help, please, nothing is too small, and everything you bring to the table is very much welcome. Hamid, I don't know if the slideshow for our impact pictures is ready.
Yes, I ready.
Okay, let us see some of those slideshows of the impact pictures on the impact we've done over the past 5 years. Over to you, Hamid. Yeah, that is how an impact is done. Very loud, very particular, and getting justice to the places where people need it. Wherever injustice is happening, be it behind the walls of correctional center, in rural communities, in big cities, in the international communities, trust me, if you look well and enough, you will see somebody from REJA initiative there tackling the problem. Sometimes physically, sometimes spiritually, whichever way it is, we are always there. Quickly, there's something I've been jumping in the program. I want to have time for icebreaker, and this is the true determinant of the person that will be taking home our Ojo Eleba rice. So this will be done for the next 1 minute or 2 minutes. So we want to have an icebreaker, and it's going to be 2 truths and a lie. 2 truths and a lie, and we'll just take 2 quickly. Not for people in the REJA team, for our volunteers, visitors, partners, any other person that is not in the, if you're not wearing this red shirt that I'm wearing today, you're not a part of this. Now, you can unmute yourself and then give us 2 truths. And just raise up your hand and then we'll point you out. So in the course of everything that has been said over time, I'm sure we've had a lot if you've paid attention. So what are the 2 truths and a lie about Restorative Justice for Africa initiative? So quickly, you can just raise up your hand and then we'll pick you. So who wants to go? Who wants to have a bite at the Ojo Leba rice with nice croaker fish? Is there anybody? Patty jollof, well peppered. Okay, Ambassador Honest, Salihu good. Okay, over to you, Ambassador Honest.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm Ambassador Honest, listening from Abuja. So,
you're welcome.
Thank you. I joined the call and so far, so good. 1 truth, right?
2 truths and a lie.
Lie. REJA is a non-governmental organization that works around justice in Nigeria and other African countries.
Okay.
Number 2, today is the 5th anniversary of REJA.
That's good.
Okay, and a lie. REJA works with people of high caliber and high income.
I don't know what you mean by that.
That's the lie, because even with voice, you don't know how to speak English, just as you said, you are marginalized. The organization helps people more, and it does not focus on people that their parents has money and what to do.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Honest. Are you a volunteer with REJA?
I just saw the meeting online, I think through LinkedIn. Then I decided to actually join the call to know more, and I'm actually willing to actually share the information to some of my lawyer friends and more people that works in that.
Okay, Ambassador Honest, is it network?
Yes, actually.
Okay, are you a lawyer?
No. My background is actually accounting and peace building.
We need you very much. Please drop your number in the chat box and you will get our Ojo Eleba rice. Please, let's put our hands together for Ambassador Honest. So please drop your number and let's send you Glovo to give you our Ojo Eleba rice. Innocent is clapping because he sees Ojo Eleba rice living. Please put our hands together for Ambassador Honest. That was a beautiful one. So she said REJA is an NGO that works around justice in Nigeria. That's the truth. Today is our 5th anniversary. Of course, that's the truth. And REJA works with people in high caliber in the sense that, no, we don't collect money from anybody. We don't really do that. We render our services to the marginalized people in the society. So please, Ambassador Honest, if you can drop your number, either DM me or DM Eguono, that is fine. You will then get a message from us. Thank you. So we'll take one more from somebody. Is anyone raising up their hand? So we'll just take one more. Ambassadors, please don't forget to DM your number or your email or any way that we can get across to you. Okay, do we have somebody else? Any other person raising up their hand to give us 2 truths and a lie, maybe now, about the criminal justice system in Nigeria? Quickly. Do we have any other person? Is there another person raising up their hand? Did I see a hand? Whose hand is this? Is there someone raising up their hand? Okay. Okay, we have Oluwakemi. Okay, Oluwakemi, can you unmute and give us some truths and a lie?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good
Okay, so
afternoon. Your
your
name?
can you please come again with the question?
Okay, you are from Heartfelt Foundation. Okay, we want two truths and a lie, maybe about the criminal justice system. Ambassador Honest have said something about REJA. Maybe you can give us two truths and a lie about the criminal justice system.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Oluwakemi Adeneko from Heartfelt Foundation for Justice. So two truths and a lie concerning Nigerian criminal justice system. So number one, the inmates in the Nigerian Correctional Service have access to basic needs. Number two, the correctional services overcrowded. Then number three, over 70% of inmates in Nigerian Correctional Service are awaiting trial. So the truth there is the last two, and the first one is the lie, that they have access to basic needs.
Let's put our hands together. Let's put our hands together for Oluwakemi. Let's put our hands together. Nobody's clapping. Nobody's clapping. Let's put our hands together. That's true. If you've visited any correctional center, sometimes I receive calls, and I think we need to find medical people to partner with, really. Because sometimes I receive calls, and you hear some people, they don't have paracetamol, they don't have this, they don't have that. It's terrible. And some of them that we are working with tells us about the food that they are giving and how terrible it is. One of the times I went there, I saw people suffering from scabies. It's terrible. The basic amenities there is terrible, and it's one of the things I trust God that we're going to work on as God will give us His enablement and His grace. Thank you. Oluwakemi Sarah, you can drop your number as well so that you'll get a package for us for your Ojo Eleba rights. Just DM me your number, and then Ambassador Honest, I've seen your number. Thank you very much. So Oluwakemi, let me have your number, and then our Ojo Eleba rights will get to you quickly from Glovo. So as we are getting towards the end of the program, we want to leave the floor open just for 2-3 minutes for any questions and any contributions that anyone would want to make in respect of REJA. You might have a question about what we do, where we do it, how you might want to volunteer. So this is a good time. But before that, Mr. David, if you are you still with us, Mr. David?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, I know you'll be representing the in charge of Kefi Correctional Center. Mr. David has been very wonderful in his support and in our partnership with him. And through this partnership, God has really helped a number of persons from Kefi Correctional Center. Mr. David, I don't know if you have any few words to give to the organization, to everybody here today on behalf of the in charge of the Kefi Correctional Center.
On behalf of the in charge of MSCC Kefi New, I'll try to appreciate you people, REJA, for the good work you have been doing for us, most especially here of anytime I call on you people, you're always there for us. Even though as I'm talking to you now, Barrister Harrison is still handling one of our cases in High Court New Caro. We are very, 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 very glad. The inmates are highly appreciative. They have been coming, they have been calling to appreciate. And we only pray that it's only God that can reward anybody that stands to help the less privileged, the indigent ones. It's only God that can reward them. And also, I could remember sometimes ago when you spoke with one of our inmates that he needed so I will urge you people and beg, if there's a way you people you have people that can partner in terms of the medical stuff, also drugs, you can be of help in that aspect also. And in other aspect of toiletries also, although I know people we are towards you are working towards legal representation. So, but if we have opportunity like this, we always try to chip in our little problem. So please, I believe you have international connection. Please, our inmates, if you have used clothes, they need. Some of them, if you have doctors, partners with doctors, they are highly welcome also to attend to their medical needs also. And the religious aspect of, if you have pastors also, they can come also. We really appreciate. So on behalf of the management of MSP Kefi, we appreciate you, we appreciate you, we appreciate you, and God will continue to bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. David. Please, a round of applause for Mr. David. Thank you very much. And what you said, Mr. David, we are working on it. Like I told you earlier, we are trying to work to build partnerships with people that are in the medical line. And by the grace of God, before this year runs out, we'll try to finalize something on that, and then you would hear from us. Thank you very much, Mr. David. And our regards to the in charge and every temporary inmate at the Kefi Correctional Center. Thank you very much for that. And quickly, do we have any questions, any contributions? We'll have 3 minutes for that before we round up. If you have any question, you can just raise up. Somebody, Mom Chair, are you here? Are you raising up your hand?
Good afternoon, everybody. Kindly confirm you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I just want to appreciate REJA for the good work so far. I got to know REJA I got to know REJA through my classmates. I think he works with REJA, James. Yeah, his name is James. So I got to know REJA through James, and I've been following up on social media. I see what's happening there, and just to say thank you to REJA for all the good work.
Thank you, Mom Chair. I appreciate you very much. So do we have any other contribution? 1 more or 2 more? So you can just raise up your hands. You can just have 1 or 2 more contributions, questions. If you want to follow us, if you want to volunteer, you can follow us across our social media handles. REJA is on LinkedIn, REJA is on X, formerly Twitter, REJA is on Instagram. And of course, if you type REJA Initiative, we also have our web address. So you can follow us on those handles. You can ask your questions, and of course, somebody would also attend to you. So finally, we'll have Nimi Bio. I would like say, sorry if I didn't get your name correctly. Over to you, Nimi. Are you there, Nimi? I thought you raised your hand. Maybe that was a mistake. Okay, 1 more contribution or questions before we close it for today. Okay, Nimi, you can speak. Over to you. Okay, Nimi says she can't unmute. Can somebody help unmute Nimi if she's still on mute? If she's still on mute? Or if there's anyone that's raising up their hand, pending when we're able to unmute Nimi. Okay, is there any other hands that is raised up? I think maybe Nimi is having a bit of network issues. Do we have any other contribution? Any question? Okay, Nimi says she will drop her comments. Okay, that's fine. So if you could drop the comments and read it out quickly. So let us take 1 more comment, 1 more question or contribution, and then we'll hand over the virtual mic once again to our visionary and the executive director for her closing remarks. So 1 more contribution or comment quickly. Any contribution or comments? Okay. Ambassador Honest said kudos to the team. Okay. We'll hand over the virtual mic to our ED once again for her closing comment. And I'm sure she would want to invite you to our physical launch on Thursday. Over to you, ED. You are muted, ma. Okay, thank you.
So sorry. Confirm that you can hear me, please. I didn't even know I was muted.
We can hear you now.
Okay. Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you, Chibueze. Thank you, everyone. My heart is so full. I don't know how to express my gratitude to everyone who joined this meeting today. You have added so much color to our event. So on behalf of the REJA team, I want to sincerely thank each and everyone for joining us to celebrate this very, very, very important milestone. Like I mentioned as we while we were starting, why this is very important to us. I want to also specially thank 3 people who have been very key. The first is Chibueze. I know he mentioned it in his intro. Chibueze was the first person I sat with or spoke with over the phone to share the burden of vision of REJA. And I can say, as we say in our local parlance, with my full chest, that Chibueze has been very, very extremely supportive to the work we do at REJA. I want to also appreciate Kinovo. Kinovo was one of our founding board members, and she has not in any way acted like a board member who is far from the organization. She has been so I think I'm lost for words to use. Every time we call on her, she's always there, always present, always opening doors and knocking on doors for us. I think I needed to mention that Kinovo is the managing partner of Compost Mentis. If you're in Abuja, you would know that name. And if you're in Delta State, and I think in Lagos, that name would resonate a lot. And she has used her what's the word now, to open several doors for us. We don't take those very, very important things you've done for us for granted. We are most grateful. And I want to also thank Stephanie. I think I saw her join the call at some point. I know she would be in class by this time, but I want to just acknowledge Stephanie. Stephanie was our first volunteer. She just messaged me on LinkedIn out of the blues. I want to join REJA. And it was at a time in 2020 when I was already at that should I not, because of so many roadblocks, as you can already imagine. I was at a point where I was considering reconsidering some of my decisions because of the human capital, the funding it will require to actually go, take it to the next step. And Stephanie just came in like that ray of hope, and she really supported REJA for the first 2 years, from 2020 up to 2022, when we got our first funding. Stephanie worked without a dime. I didn't have to pay her a dime, but she worked. I remember most of the events I had to start going attending after she traveled for her studies. Everyone kept asking, "Where's Stephanie? Where's Stephanie? Where's Stephanie?" Because she was the face of REJA that everyone knew. I had so much peace in sending her to represent me, because I knew that she had so much knowledge and capacity. She had, volunteered and given her best internally, and she was doing so well on every platform that she sat in or spoke on to represent REJA. I want to thank these people specially, but I want to also reserve my deep appreciation to everyone who shared their kind words. Joke, your words mean a lot to us. Thank you so much. Thank you for being that extra what's the word I'm looking for now? Always trying to provide guidance and direction and clarity when I need it. Thank you so much. It means a lot to us at REJA. I want to thank every of our partner who sent video messages. I know we planned that this meeting should just last for 1 hour, and that was the reason why we couldn't take all the video or take so much video messages. But I want to also acknowledge the goodwill message we received from Heal Justice, from Dovetail Impact Foundation. It means a lot to us that there are partners who have worked with us, who have supported us with funding, and then who are very enthusiastic about the progress we are making in REJA, and then for the years ahead of us. I want to tell you that your support rather continues to foil our vision for the justice system we want to see. I want to also thank our volunteers. You have been boots on the ground. Just like Mr. David just mentioned, Harrison is in court. Peter is also on this call. You can see he's not dressed in a red shirt because he's just coming in from a court. Khadija, I think, was also in court today. So our volunteers are every day. You have a volunteer either in a correctional center or in a court, or maybe, as the case may permit, in a police station, trying to see how to represent people who do not have the means to represent themselves or get the proper service, legal representation that they would desire. So I want to thank you. Peter has been there from the beginning as well. We see you and we appreciate you. Thank you so much. So as we step into the next phase of our work, like I mentioned in the opening address, we look forward to deepening our impact. This is only the beginning. It is like a springboard. It is more like a springboard to the next years ahead of us, particularly the next 5 years. I know Egono mentioned part of our key strategic focus. I don't know if you can see my screen. This is our next strategic direction for the next 5 years. So we want you to keep your eyes peeled. We want you to stay with us as you have been, to see how we progress and navigate the work we do in the next 5 years. I know someone was asking in the comment section how to join, how to be a part of REJA. Please try and send an email to info@rejafrica.org and we would provide all the necessary details you need. And then if you're on this call and you're not following us on social media, you are wrong. You are wrong. I saw that everyone has dropped all the links, so please, let's just see you follow us. Just a like, a comment can, you know how the algorithm works, can just make it project it to a wider audience. So please don't forget to like, comment, and follow us on all our social media handles. And then, of course, celebrate us when you see our little and big wins. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you, Mr. David. I appreciate everyone who has joined this call. I would yield the mic now to Chibuzi for any final closing remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, our Executive Director. Please, can we put our hands together once again? If your hands are not busy, please, can we start putting the hands together? Can we start putting the hands together? I love that. Let's put our hands together. Thank you, Edie. Thank you, everyone, for joining. You really make this occasion very memorable. Well, thank you all. You are also helping us make history and help the life of everybody that will be helping and assisting in the next 5 years. And as we've tried to re-emphasize in this program, please, if you can, please follow us on social media handles. If you want to volunteer with us, you mustn't be a lawyer to volunteer. If you're an accountant, even if you're a bricklayer, we have project works that we need volunteer work for. Whatever it is you can do, come. People need help. If you can talk, please come. Programs like this, we need an MC, we need people. Anything you can do, volunteer. Nothing is too small, like I would always say. And once again, if you are around Abuja and environs, all road leads to Karo local government area on Thursday, where we launch our first reintegration home, which is part of the things we are doing. In the next 5 years, we are going full-blown into restorative justice and reintegration programs for people that have been released from the correctional centers to ensure that they have a life post-incarceration. Thank you, everyone, once again for joining. Remember, if you see anyone that their rights are being violated, always reach out to REJA Initiative, and we'll be there like Superman or we'll be there like Batman to help you. Thank you for joining, and I wish you, the first quarter of the year is ending today. I wish you a beautiful second quarter of the year. Thank you all once again. And this is the part where we'll sing the song by Style Plus. 5 years don't waka. We see the carry go. And thank you everyone for joining. Thank you and God bless you richly. Bye.
I wanted to also acknowledge Headfort Foundation. It just skipped my mind that Kemi joined again. Thank you, Kemi, for Headfort, the support Headfort has provided to REJA in the course of our work. We don't take it for granted. And just like what Chibuze mentioned, we're hoping to see how we can lean on each of or any of these organizations when our capacity is reached, when we need people to represent us in other jurisdictions where we don't currently have our presence. We would be happy to lean on the strengths of our sister organizations that have been represented here. I did not see anyone from Gavel or Hope Behind Bars, but I just assumed that maybe someone may be on the call from those organizations. Every of these organizations I've mentioned and so many others I have not mentioned are doing incredible work. We don't even take it lightly because like Joke said, we are in it and we know how very tasking it is. So we acknowledge you. If you're on the call from Gavel, from PPDC, from Hope Behind Bars, all the organizations we send our calls and messages to. We see you and we appreciate you. And we look forward to more collaborations and partnerships as we try to transform and reform the criminal justice space in Nigeria. So thank you so much. I think here's a good time to say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Kinovo.
Thank you, Kinovo. Bye.